man? We are back. What's popping? What's happening? Welcome back to the greatest podcast on the face of the earth. We are here. This is the LeVar Walker Show podcast, live stream, or whatever it is that you want to call it. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. Shout out to everybody on Twitter, YouTube. I am the best at this shit because this is me talking. You know what I mean? It's a vibe. We just vibing. And before we continuously vibe, I just want to let you guys know I'm on my way home, Chicago. I'm coming home, baby. I'm coming home, baby. Chicago Comedy Bar, November 1st, man. I see y'all buying them tickets, man. We still got a few left. We're in the final days. We count down 5 more days before I make my return home to do my homecoming comedy show. You can click the link right there. You could just scan that QR code, get those tickets to see me in Chicago at the Comedy Bar on Superior Street. We're going to be downtown, very safe environment. It's going to be very, very nice, very lit. What's happening, though? What's good, everybody? Is everybody feeling all right? Are you good? Are you good? Let me know how you're doing today. Y'all can come in on the comments. Y'all can talk to me, vibe with me, do all that good stuff. And today we're going to talk about in China. So in China, they're requiring that for people to talk about certain professional topics online, that you be educated in those fields. And you know what? I have to salute China. I have to salute China for that. There are too many idiots talking online, and I'm one of them, but I have to salute them for allowing people who are in certain professions to speak on those professions in public platforms. Because what's happening in society is we are going to not, we're not migrating towards what makes the most sense. Now we're migrating towards information that gets the most attention. That's what's happening. Okay, so if a guy has millions and billions of people following you on this podcast, a live stream, and he's giving you fucking medical advice, these idiots listen to that. And I don't give a fuck if the guy did get it from Google. He has no license to talk about it. You haven't worked in that field. You haven't done shit. You just talking. And sometimes when people are talking, they can kind of, the line and the waters can get muddied, and now they're doing shit that this guy said to do. And now society is imploding, which is what's happening in America right now. This is where we're at in America. So shout out to China. And I want to pull some more of that up too. Shout out to everybody on IG. I see y'all over there. Let me see what we got. Let's see. Maybe we're talking about China. I'm just going to pull it up real quick. Let me see. China influencers. Let's see if that'll pull up. Let me go back to Google. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all this. Let's read it. Let's read it. Let me see. Make sure y'all get those tickets to Chicago. I am coming home. Let me share this entire screen with you guys. All right. Chinese new influencer law says only degree holders can discuss professional topics. But critics warn that law could harm creativity and limit freedom of speech, as well as restrict independent voices in critical debate. China's new influencer law, which took effect on October 25th, requires anyone creating content on sensitive topics such as medicine, law, education, or finance to hold official qualifications in those fields. The Cyberspace Administration of China says the goal is to fight misinformation and protect the public from false or harmful advice, but the move has also raised concerns about censorship and freedom of expression. Under the new rules, influencers who talk about regulated topics must show proof of their expertise, such as a degree, professional license, or certificate. Platforms like Douyin, China's version of TikTok, Bill, Bilibili, Bilibili, and Weibo must verify creators' credentials and make sure their content includes proper citations and disclaimers. For example, influencers must clearly state when information comes from studies or when a video includes AI generated material. Platforms are also required to educate users about their responsibilities when sharing content online. The CAC has gone even further by banning advertising for medical products, supplements, and health foods to prevent hidden promotions disguised as educational videos. However, critics warn the law could harm creativity and limit freedom of speech by controlling who talk about certain topics. They argue China might not only block misinformation, but also restrict independent voices and critical debate. Many worry that expertise will be defined too narrowly, giving authorities more power to silence people who question official narratives or offer alternative views. Others, however, welcome the move, saying that the new law would allow for well informed content on important and sensitive topics. Many argue that only professionals in their field should be able to speak about and discuss said topic to prevent misinformation. The rise of influencer culture has changed how people get information. Influencers are valued for being relatable and authentic and being able to connect with audiences in ways traditional experts cannot. However, when these creators share misleading or inaccurate information, the effects can be serious. Supporters of the new law. A lot of pros and cons to that. So I mean that definitely does restrict freedom of speech. I know I started off saying maybe that'd be a good thing, but I'm not too sure. Let's let people talk. I think we just have to have what's called a fucking dummy tax. Um, we got to have a dummy tax. So you got to let people be fucking idiots. Let people make their decisions and let people, we need to more so hold people accountable for doing their own due diligence and research. So if you don't believe in taking vaccines, whether you do or you don't, that's on you. Okay. I'm not about to advocate for vaccines and I'm not going to be against them. But if you want to take them, you do. If you don't, you don't. That's just how I feel. And everybody should just be held accountable for due diligence. They need to fucking read and you try to get behind the words to see if this makes sense or if this will work out for you and your family. And in the unfortunate event that it doesn't, you need to hold that L and be held accountable. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. Let people do what they want. Keith Bartlett, shout out to Keith Bartlett. He's in here. I lived in China for 12 years and saw firsthand the insane speed of growth, especially in tech. I wonder if some of those systems could ever apply in the US. How do you feel about requiring real ID verification for people online? Social media is basically part of daily life now. Ooh. Well, that real ID and all that verification, that's a slippery slope because then we get into the social credit scores. And now, if people opt into that system, now you're just controlled to the point where they can turn your bank account on and off, turn your car on and off, lock you out of your house with the push of a button, and just shut you out. And I believe they're having an issue with that in China because if they under social credit scores, and if they shit ain't together, they locked out of shit. I don't know. Now, Keith, I could be wrong, but that's what I saw. And I don't know if it's propaganda, but let me know. But I think that's a slippery slope because we'll just be controlled by a few tech gods. And I don't think that's good for anybody, you know. I really don't. So I don't know. I think people should be held accountable if you do dumb shit, if you giving people money online that you never heard of. If you fall for the Nigerian scam that you got money over there, you should hold that L. Let me see. But it's slowly becoming that way. 100% propaganda. Okay. Okay. Well, that's cool. And that's another thing too, people. Remember, double check shit because there's a lot of propaganda out here. Like people are showing you stuff online because they want you to think a certain way. And typically, if the way you're thinking is very easy and too good to be true, it probably is, and they're lying to you, and you're looking at some propaganda type shit. So you have to do a little bit more research onto that. But it's amazing how social media has changed the landscape of the world. And I mean, this is literally where we are right now. Attention is everything. And you can be perceived being an expert just based off the attention that you received. So shout out to Keith for coming in here with that and sharing that with us, man. It's very, very interesting. So yeah, I don't know. As far as China doing that and making people, everybody got to be professional, I'm not too sure because if that happened in America, we know who controls the drug companies. We know who controls the AMA, and all this research to a degree is propaganda because you can pay people to put certain shit in the books, and that's just what it is. You can alter what's in those medical journals. You can alter that shit. You can get another scientist that disagrees. So I don't know if that'll be the answer because depending on where the people learn that shit from is what it is. Also, too, I want to switch topics here. The NBA seems to be in trouble with the gambling. If y'all noticed, they just put Chauncey Billups in jail. Then they gave the coach that was with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think he's in on the conspiracy and indictment. And what's so alarming about Chauncey Billups going down in this NBA federal investigation or the gambling investigation is that when Chauncey Billups got locked up, he had on a Clutch Sports hoodie. Now, I don't know if Clutch is involved. I don't know who's involved. I honestly think, I'll be honest, I think the whole NBA is involved. I think once the NBA hooked up with Prize Picks and FanDuel and all of the fucking legal betting systems, they've made themselves a victim to this. So they're starting to find shit where they feel like the league has like done underhanded shit and like put people on injured reserve only because they was making bets and they didn't want it to come to fruition. But where we at right now, it looks like everybody involved is part of this shit. Because for the simple fact, on these gambling sites, if you could do a parlay, or if I could say, "Ooh, LeVar only gonna score 10 points," or I'm gonna say he gonna go over the 10 points and I'm making money, or you're able to bet if I take a shit that day, or if my toe is gonna hurt. I can call my friends and tell them where to place the bets. So I just think this is one big thing of greed, and everybody's trying to cover up their tracks. And I think a lot of big dominoes are going to fall. So that's what it is with that. Um, but I'm not too sure, man. Not too sure. It's looking ugly. And speaking of the NBA, Victor Wembanyama looks like he will be the future of the league. 7'5", this nigga 7 feet 5 inches tall, scored 40 points his first game, and there was nothing that anybody could do with him. It was like they were literally out there playing up against the inflatable man in front of the car lots. There was nothing they could do with him. And he's already went to go sit with Shaolin monks. He has become the ball now. He is the ball. Wemby is the ball, and the ball is him. And I believe that's what the monks taught him. So they are whooping ass. Like they are really kicking ass out there. So shout out to the league. Hopefully this will clear up. But as the more and more dominoes fall, they probably gonna have to get rid of Adam Silver as the commissioner because this is under his watch. He might have to go. So I don't know, guys. It's not looking good. It's looking quite ugly. Quite ugly out there. Quite ugly. Stephen A say it's Trump. Trump coming in with his cronies doing this shit. So I don't know. But while we talking, listen, get those tickets right there. If you use your phone and take a picture of that, that'll lead you to where to get those tickets. Because we are approximately 5 days away: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday is my big show. So we 5 days out, and we're going to have a good time. So that's what it is. I'm not going to hold y'all hostage too much longer. I'm about to go because I'm getting sleepy now. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, let me know. I'd just like to come on here and sit with y'all. Shout out to everybody on IG. Hey, Instagram, what's going on? I see y'all. hmm But I'm not going to be on here much longer. I got to go. I come up with some new shit to talk about. But shout out to all y'all. Ebony Foster, I see you. You just came in on IG. All right. I'm about to go now because I'm running out of shit to talk about. But anyway, get those tickets. Chicago, I'm coming home November 1st. Let's go. Holla back.